I should have done this video a little earlier today, but the whole season one of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is here. And my other thoughts on this show. I think this show is a lot of fun. I do think this show is a very fun, modern interpretation of Spider-Man in animation form. It tries to be a little bit different, and it works. I thought the idea of Norman Osborn being Spider-Man's mentor instead of Tony Stark was very interesting and a very unique spin and brand new take on Norman Osborn that we haven't seen yet. And I think that's very awesome. And he was a very intimidating and very decent mentor to Peter. I do think he cares about Peter, well, not as much as his friends like Nico, Harry, or Lonnie at first. Um, but he's still a very likable character enough. And we'll see if he becomes the Green Goblin as like season 2 or 3. We'll see. Um, I thought the animation looks awesome. At first, I was like, this animation looks weird. But then I realized that but then I started to get that this animation is supposed to represent like classic Spider-Man comics from the 60s, as well as the original uh Spider-Man Amazing Friends cartoon, where it has Spider-Man does whatever Spider-Man does. Which in the intro has some parts of it, though it but mostly a rap song too. There goes the Spider-Man. I thought that was a very awesome and catchy song and a great use for the show's intro. But I do think the designs of the characters look really neat. I thought Spider-Man does look very awesome. Both Spider-Man and Peter Parker. Nico is a very interesting new character, I think. I don't know if she's from the comics or not. I think she's original. I feel like Lonnie looks a little too similar to Harry Osborn, just with a different hair and different personality. But it's no big deal, because I do think Lonnie's a very sympathetic character where he starts off as a fun jock who is the best friend of Peter, who has a crush on the girl that Lonnie's dating. But then he leads a crime gang and calls himself Tombstone, which is of course a Spider-Man villain who I heard a rumor was supposed to be El Muerto, but we're never gonna see that for the better. And he was also in Across the Spider-Verse. And it's a very interesting take on the character where he's more of an anti-hero and he fights Scorpion alongside Spider-Man in the episode 9. And I'm really curious to how his character arc evolves in later seasons. Is he gonna turn to the villainous Tombstone like we know? Or are they gonna do something different with the character? I do think Harry Osborn is decent enough. Not as much as James Franco's, though probably a little bit better than Dane DeHaan's version of Harry Osborn. I like seeing Dr. Octavius. He doesn't do much except for that one cool scene in one episode where he fights some, I guess, officers. It's kind of reminiscent of the hospital scene from Spider-Man 2. Only this time, instead of being more horrific, it's more action-packed to say the least, and more fun than scary than Spider-Man 2. I like seeing Doctor Strange in the first and last episode. He was a very important part of it, where he opened a portal with fighting a Venom-esque character, to which the spider goes to a dimension to bite Peter Parker. And that in the final episode, which kind of shows how he got to the high school world uh, while fighting Venom, he teams up with Spider-Man to defeat the creature. I think that was a very awesome fight scene, and I really like how they made a classic version of Doctor Strange. I do think the person Robert and Edwin Downs did a good job voicing the character. It's not Benedict Cumberbatch, but I do think they did a good job. Though I did love seeing Charlie Cox back as Daredevil. Even he has a little bit of screen time. He appears in episodes 6 and 9 for a little bit. But he is still memorable, and of course, Charlie Cox is Daredevil, and I do think his costume does look really neat. And I'm very happy to see Finnes in the final episode, since I do remember her in Lego Marvel Avengers. I did think she was a cool character for a little bit if I played of her years ago. And I do think Scorpion was a very intimidating antagonist to Spider-Man to a point where he was beating him up and stabbed him before Peter Parker gets hospitalized. He was a very interesting foe, and seeing having the Scorpion suit is awesome, especially since the MCU has done nothing with him since the post-credit scene from Homecoming. We need him in Spider-Man 4, please. But so far, what we got of Scorpion is very awesome, and Chameleon is also very fun to see. I prefer him over Fred Heschinger's version, and this is technically supposed to be the Far From Home version, though in an alternate universe where he officially becomes a chameleon and talks. I thought Mila, the Russian buff female character, was a very uh awesome foe to Peter Parker at Spider-Man 2 one episode. And I did think Spider-Man was a very well made was a very great character in this. I thought he was likable. I thought he has some fun moments, some charm, and has a very good friendship with Harry, Nico, and Lionel for the first half of this season. And I do think the actions were top notch. I think they were awesome. And overall, I'm really happy to watch Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I thought it was a fun show on Disney Plus. And I cannot wait for season 2 and 3. And I hope you too. So let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the show. Peace out. Bye.